For anyone who's been following the high-profile criminal trial of former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes, you know it's now coming to a close. And even if you weren't following the details, there was something worth noting during this trial. Holmes's personal text exchanges with her former boyfriend and co-executive were used as evidence. This is raising questions about what we need to know about our own privacy and our text history. Joining me now is criminal lawyer Tanya Walker from Walker Law. Nice to talk to you today. This is so interesting.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's look at this case. I mean, the texts in this specific case range from business-related texts like, for example, quote, "Our validation reports are terrible," to very personal texts. I'm going to read one. "You are the breeze in desert for me." Okay, so how are these texts used as evidence in this case?
Well, the texts are used as evidence to demonstrate what Ms. Holmes knew or should have known during the time that she knew the technology wasn't operational. You have to, in terms of fraud, you have to prove knowledge and that's really hard to prove. And so these text messages show that first, really two things: that she was in control of the company and she appeared to be a confident CEO. She's kind of proud of some of the investments that she secured. Rupert Murdoch and Alice Walton from the Walmart family both contributed over $100 million each in her company in terms of an investment. And she's actually talking about that with Mr. Balwani. And it shows also Mr. Balwani was being very supportive towards her and providing his opinions instead of controlling her. And so that hurts her defense a little bit, because she said that, I was really the face of the company. I didn't really understand everything that was going on. Mr. Balwani was in control. He controlled me. And so the text kind of disproved what she's saying here. And also, Mr. Balwani even says in a text message, "You are the company." So it's very difficult now that for her to say, well, I didn't understand what was going on. He even actually expressed to her that I don't really think that we should have on our website information about the company and technology, because there's issues with the technology that we have. And she made the decision to keep the website operational as it is. And it really, really hurts her defense to say, I didn't know, I don't recall, I wasn't in control. It really, really hurts her.
Well, yeah, when you get that, so you take that, that cloak back and you see the private texting. So in terms of Canadian courts, what is permissible to use when it comes to texting?
Well, Lindsay, it's more than just texting. I would use the word electronic communication, because it's texting, it's sending messages on Skype or Facebook, anything that's electronic. And so pretty much everything's permissible. As long as it's relevant, you're not trying to submit a text message or electronic communication to say this person's an awful person. You're actually using that message to prove or disprove a point, that it's authentic, because it hasn't been doctored, and it's not covered by any form of privilege or hearsay. For example, Lindsay, if you text me and say, "Tanya, Anne-Marie told me that she saw you," that's hearsay, because you need the information from the person who actually witnessed the wrongdoing. So I love using them. It shows what a person was really thinking around the time that the incidents happened.
So if people are concerned about privacy and what they're texting, is there a way to protect your own texts?
Yes, I mean, you can claim privilege or hearsay and say it's not admissible. Be careful about how you communicate electronically. Maybe keep in mind that whatever text message you send, whatever medium that you use, it might be read by a judge. You don't have to save messages in the cloud. However, if that's your regular practice of doing things and then you end up in a court proceeding and you destroy that, that's seen as spoliation, so that could be problematic. But if your regular practice is not to save messages in the cloud, those messages might not be saved forever. And also, if your text messages are used in court, such as with Ms. Holmes and Mr. Balwani, some of it's kind of embarrassing because it's really romantic speak. You might want to ask the court to redact what's not relevant, because this becomes part of public record, and you might not necessarily want the world to see those type of messages that you were sent back and forth.
Yeah, and maybe get a little bit more creative than like, "You are the breeze and desert for me." I'm just saying. Anyway, Tanya, always good to see you. Thank you so much. Happy holidays if we don't chat before.
Happy holidays. Thank you for having me, Lindsay.
All right.